What's up, guys? Late night run to the shop to grab my code scanner for my truck. Actually, where the hell is that thing? Did I borrow that to somebody? Code reader, code reader, code reader. Came all the way to the shop to get a code scanner, and my code scanner ain't here. Who has that damn thing? I guess I do have another one. This one will work. Anyways, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's currently the same day as the last video, and I got my truck started. I don't know what was wrong with it. Nothing was really wrong with it. I talked to my buddy Brandon, and he suggested, I think just kind of randomly, I don't know if there was any reasoning behind it, to try and feather the gas pedal as I'm trying to start the truck. And I actually went out and did that, and it fired up. And then I shut it off, and it fired up again fine without hitting the gas pedal at all. But my check engine light is on, so before I drive the truck at all, I do want to scan the check engine light and see why the check engine light is on. I have no idea what happened. I feel like it's something fuel related, but I guess we'll see. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, let's see if old girl's gonna fire up again this morning. She fired up last night. Let's see what she does today. Alrighty then, I'm gonna grab the code reader, scan this check engine light. I don't know why this truck confused the living shit out of me, boys, and it's cold. It's really, really cold. I guess it'd help if you actually, if you bring it home to scan codes. I literally drove all the way here from the house to get this, and I didn't even get it. Shows how brain dead I am sometimes. So in the time we drove from the house to the shop, check engine light popped off. I don't know, man. If you have any ideas as to what happened with the truck, feel free to comment below. As of right now, I'm not too concerned with it. I'm very confused, but I'm not concerned. She should be good to go. Now let's get back to work on this thing. The whole passenger side, we polished out, wet sanded, buffed, polished, burned the paint on a fender, so we're gonna have to respray that, but the rest of this thing turned out so dang good. Also, I did go ahead and order some white fender flare, what would you call it, like rubber trim stuff, just to take care of all these little freaking gaps that I cannot stand, that I can't really, I mean, I could remake the panels again, but that rubber fender flare trim should take care of it. And I think white would look cleaner on this car versus black. I'm trying to have it as much of a seamless look as possible. So as soon as that comes in all the way from Russia, apparently nobody in the US makes any, but someone in Russia does though. So as soon as that comes in, we can get that installed, and hopefully it'll take care of all those random gaps all over the kit. So the whole passenger side, I initially sanded down with 1000 grit and realized it was a little bit of a mistake because it took a while to get those 1000 grit sand scratches out. On the driver's side, I'm gonna go ahead and start with 2500. I know it's pretty fine. And if that takes too long to get any of this orange peel or nib any of the dirt out, I'll bump it down to 2000. If that don't work, 1500. We do have a pretty big run right here, so let's get that run out. I'm gonna start off with this quarter panel, get the quarter panel slash fender flare knocked out, and then we can move on to the pillar and the rest of the driver's side. So it took me a half hour exactly to get the flare and the quarter panel sanded down, completely flat sanded with 2500. And I know that is quite a while, but if it saves me time in the long run, when we go to buff it out, which is what we're gonna figure out right now, then I'll be happy. I'm gonna attempt the DA first. If that takes forever, like it was the other day, trying to pull out the sand scratches on the other side, then I'll just switch to the rotary, knock them down real quick, and then when we polish it, we can use the DA again. So I'm doing a little test area on the quarter panel, figuring out the exact method I want to use, the best end result for the least amount of time. Definitely the method I want to be using. I still see some scratches right here from the razor blade pulling that run out, but just that little bit of buffing on the DA pulled these 2000 or 2500 sand scratches out just like that. So that's super exciting. Dang, this thing's gonna look good. I'm excited. I need to do a little bit more sanding here, and then we can go ahead and get this whole entire section buffed out, make sure it's all good to go, and then I'm gonna move on to probably the pillar next. I always like to start up high just so the cord isn't hitting the doors and then scratching our buffed section. Let's get it knocked out. Another 30 minutes to knock out that quarter panel. Buffing wise, polishing is super quick. The whole side is probably gonna take about maybe 45 minutes to polish the whole entire side. But let's do a little before and after. Let me show you guys how important this is to sand out your orange peel if you really don't know how to paint, kind of like me. So there's a before, a little bit sanded down, but you can see how orange peely it actually is. And then you come down in here, still a tiny bit of orange peel. Kind of like factory, to be honest. But dang, this thing's so shiny, the camera hardly even wants to focus on it. It looks so good. I'm definitely gonna use this method on the whole entire rest of the car. I wish I would have done it on the other side because it would have saved me a ton of time. So all I'm doing is 2500 grit, 1500 if it's really deep stuff, kind of like the little scratches that the razor blade makes. 1500 those, and then 2500 and a yellow hex logic pad with the step 1 3M compound, and it goes pretty quick. So this whole quarter panel took about an hour. Doors should take about an hour, fender an hour, 4 or 5 hours for the whole entire side. We should be good to go. Went ahead and sanded down the entire driver's side. Now let's move on to buffing out these sand scratches. Smack a nice polish on it. And then we still gotta take care of the front rear bumper and the wing. And I'm gonna do a little bit of sanding and buffing on the roof. And then this thing will pretty much be finished up. Finally, after like 40 years of body work, paint work, sanding, buffing, all the nonsense. The whole driver's side is buffed out and I'm very, very exhausted. I'm so excited to be finally done with this car, paint bodywork wise. We got to polish it, and then we still have the wing. And I'll probably try to polish the hatch a little bit, try to get a little bit more shine out of it. And then we have the bumpers as well, which shouldn't be too bad. I'm gonna take a little break and then we can knock out the polish on the driver's side and we'll be done with the driver's side, which is exciting. Okay, came out beautiful, didn't burn through, didn't sand through. This paint is freaking nuts on this car. Like I said yesterday, if this was a different, like a darker color, it would show a lot more on camera how beautiful it truly is. But a nice bright white. When I pull the BRZ back in, I'll show you guys how bright this car actually is. It's so freaking bright in person. This Aspen white is just so sick. All right, check out how much brighter the STI is versus the BRZ. That looks so creamy. The STI is of course Aspen white. The BRZ is crystal white metallic, I believe. Yeah, that's the proper color. When I initially bought the BRZ, for some odd reason, I thought it was satin white pearl, and it's clearly not. So I don't know why I ever thought that. Pretty sure Jared actually told me that, so Jared, that one's on you, bro. Moving on to the wing, I think I'm gonna have to pull it apart, and the reason for it is because there is a run right here that I wanna get out. I'm gonna go ahead and wet sand and polish the ends first, and then pull it off, and then we can knock out the base of the wing. All right, roof is done. I was just gonna, honestly, at first I was just gonna sand the roof just so it was nice and flat for when we wrap it. And then I realized that's what someone that's lazy would do. So I just did a full correction on the entire roof. And this is how it turned out. Still a little bit of compound on it, but it looks so freaking beautiful. I'm actually really excited with how it came out because if you guys remember back when we were doing the bodywork on this car, the roof had like 50 hail damage dings and dents that we had to fix. And it looks so good, so flat. Now if it was black, we'd probably see more, but dang guys, tempting to just leave it white because it looks so nice. Last thing to do is tackle the ass end of this thing. So the rear bumper extensions, the hatch is gonna get a nice little light buff on it. I'm not gonna worry about the front end for multiple different reasons. This car is so freaking nearly perfect that this front end is, I thought it wouldn't bug me, but it bugs me so much. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm gonna put another, just an OEM. I love how this bumper looks. I don't know if I wanna put an OEM bumper on it with new wide body panels. I love how this bumper looks, but the fitment bugs me. So I think we have two options: OEM bumper, new wide body panels, or mold these wide body panels in. This side's quite a bit better, but there's still that little gap. I don't know, man. This thing bugs me. We can deal with that some other day. Either way, it's going to require some sort of paint work, which is not a big deal because we have a paint booth now, and we have to spray that flare out anyway. So let's tackle the back of this thing, get it all cleaned up. Make sure we get this thing ceramic coated. That's always fun. And to be completely honest, I probably won't mess with respraying parts for a while. I just want to take a little bit of a break from this whole bodywork thing. It's not my favorite in the world. We are all finished up with the wet sand, buff, and polish on the STI. It is time to move on to ceramic coating. This has been such a freaking long project. I would not recommend it if you're impatient like me. Quick little walk around of how she turned out. It's so freaking shiny. It's only gonna look better after we get her coated. I do need to go ahead, wash the car. There is buffing compound all over it, so it's pretty dirty, but yeah, let's get it washed up, let her dry, and move on to some Avalon King ceramic coat. I will be using some Avalon King prep shampoo. I'll have this link down below, as well as the ceramic coat. So add 1 ounce of shampoo to 1 gallon of water, and then we're gonna go ahead and wash the car. This is kind of like, the seal's the deal. As soon as we put ceramic coat on it, no more buffing, no more polishing, no more wet sanding, no more nothing. All right, I'm excited. So we got all the 3 things that we need. I went to good old Harbor Freight and picked up some microfibers, some brand new ones. This is diluted IPA down to 17%, I think that says. Anywhere between, I think 15 and 20% is what they recommend. And our ceramic coat itself. 1 kit is all we're gonna need. I'm doing 2 full coats on the entire car. The roof I'm not ceramic coating because it's gonna be wrapped, and I've experienced that trying to wrap over ceramic coat doesn't go so well. So I'm not gonna wrap the roof. I'm not gonna wrap the blade on the wing because if I can get my hands on that PPF, that's like carbon fiber, the carbon fiber PPF. I forget who makes it, but you have to be a dealer to get it. So if anyone can get me it, that'd be ideal because I want to wrap the roof in that. I forget what brand it is, and that carbon PPF, and potentially the wing as well, just the blade of the wing. So I'm not gonna ceramic coat the roof, the wing, the front end, and of course this fender flare that we have to repaint. Everything else in the car is getting coated. Wheels are already done. Brakes are already done. Glass is nice and clean, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that knocked out. And it's a very, very simple process. I know I've showed you a billion freaking times, but I'll show you again real quick. Let's get her done. So in the ceramic coat kit, we have the ceramic coat itself, Armor Shield 9, a cloth to wipe off the excess ceramic coat, some gloves, applicator sponge, and applicator towels. I think there's 3 of these applicator towels. So grab the ceramic coat, towel is wrapped around the sponge. There's a soft part on the sponge and a hard part wrapped around the soft part. Go ahead, drip it on the towel, something like that. I guess we should probably clean the car first. Let's clean the car first. We gotta wipe the whole entire thing down. You know what, let's just do a fender real quick. Wipe it down with the IPA, the diluted IPA with a microfiber towel, and then we can go ahead and get that fender ceramic coated. So I do the whole thing in a horizontal and then vertical motion, let it dry, let it cure for about 3 minutes, grab the new microfiber that Avalon King included, and go ahead, wipe it down. That's all we gotta do. It's very, very simple. So in between coats, I waited about 1 hour. That's what I've done in the past. It seems to work very well. The way I look at ceramic coat, it's like wax on steroids pretty much. It lasts a lot longer than wax, has many more benefits than wax, and it's not all that expensive. It may actually, ceramic coat versus a really good wax is probably around the same price, to be honest. Here she is all finished up, my friends. I'm so excited and proud and stoked with how far this thing has come. So much work has gone into it. Quite a bit of work left to do to it. Thankfully, pretty much all the body work is done, which is, I would say, my least enjoyable thing. Wet sanding, buffing, it's not all that fun. The end result, when you like hit that last polish, is really sick, but sitting there wet sanding for days and days and days on end, it gets really old. If you guys want to pick up this ceramic coat, I will link it down below in the description box, along with my discount code, which I believe is Devin25. I'll save you $25 off one kit. One kit was plenty to do the whole entire car twice. Now, if you're gonna do brakes and wheels and all that fun stuff, windows, I would recommend 2 kits. You don't want to run out halfway. So link down below. It's been a long day. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm excited for the next detail or the next paint job, to be honest. Paint job detail. I'm excited because I feel like I learned a lot, and the next one should turn out even better than how this one turned out. Because it ain't perfect, it is my first one, but look at it. It turned out really nice. I'm stoked. Peace out, my friends. I'll see you guys tomorrow.